What's going on, you guys? My name's Wolf and welcome to today's video. So we're back to shorts and short sleeve shirts, which is awesome, and no socks. It's very, very awesome. So today I'm going to do a story time, and I said I was going to do the story time for a while now, but it's finally time to do this story time, and so let's do this story time. So I'm going to tell you guys about the time that Minnie got Parvo. So the story gets easier the more years that go by, but if you've had a dog that's gotten Parvo, you'll know how difficult it is, how it really is. And the story is actually, it brings me back quite a bit. It's a tough story just to think about because this actually happened, and it was so long ago, and it was just tough to deal with. Let's go back some. So the time Minnie got Parvo, or the time we found out Minnie had Parvo. So this was almost 2 years ago that I found out that Minnie had Parvo. So I think it was a Thursday, possibly, maybe a Thursday. No, I think it was a Friday because I didn't have class, but I was going to change my major that day. So I was going to change my major, and my mom was home before going into work late because Minnie was throwing up and she had bad diarrhea, so she was really sick. And we had taken her a few times, and they had told us it was just worms, but I didn't believe that was true. I thought it was something else because it just couldn't be. And the more sick she got, the more worried I became. So my mom told me, and I told her, I know it's Parvo, I know it. So I called the vet, and I told them she's not getting any better, she's puking and she has diarrhea, and I'm bringing her in. Can I bring her in today? They said yes, this is an emergency. So as soon as I got done with my school stuff, I immediately went home, and I wasn't far from home. It was my first college, so I wasn't far from home. It took me about 20 minutes to get home. So, and my mom had just literally just left, so she was with her the entire time. So I got home, and then I took Minnie to the vet, and we were there for a while, and I knew, and then they finally did the tests, and they told me, you know, she has Parvo, there's a 50-50 chance of her living. And I was bawling by that time when they told me it was Parvo. I was bawling, I was in tears. It was the worst news I could have ever heard in my life when it came to one of my dogs, because we had just gotten her. We hadn't even had her for a month yet before we found out that she had Parvo. And I have two dogs. I have Doggo and I have Minnie. So when I found out, I was worried about Doggo too, because technically if your dog doesn't get the Parvo shot, they can get Parvo no matter how old they are. So I was worried about her, but they said that since she had her Parvo shot, she would be fine. But Minnie had just gotten her shots. They told us they gave her puppy shots, but we have nothing to back that up. They didn't have the vet records, they didn't have the shot records, they didn't have anything for us except for empty vials. And they had a bunch of dogs, so we couldn't back it up at all. There was just nothing. We didn't even know if she had her puppy shots. But either way, she was very susceptible to, yeah, I think that's right, to Parvo. And I was bawling, and we didn't know what we wanted to do, because you know Parvo can be really expensive. I mean, $1,200, $1,300. That's the original price range that they gave us, and we didn't know what we wanted to do. I mean, the vet offered to take her and, you know, pay for it and raise her herself and find her a good home, but I was pretty much in refusal mode. I was not going to do that. We had her for a few weeks, and I loved her, maybe a month, and I loved her to death ever since we got her, and Doggo loved her to death ever since we got her. So I was very against that. So after multiple calls to my parents, because I was the only one there, my dad said, you know, we are going to do this no matter what. She's going to be okay. So she was in the doggy hospital for 5 days, and she managed to survive. It was about $600. She managed to survive. Almost all of her legs were shaved because they couldn't get an IV in. So all her legs were shaved except for one. But it was hard. it was very, very hard. I don't know. To this day, it's still kind of, I probably would have reacted the same way that I did when I was younger. I was 17 at the time. I think I might have been 17, and it was just so hard. And she's healthy now, and it was very, very traumatic. She was in the hospital for maybe 4 or 5 days. My mom and I would see her every single day, and it was hard, but she's okay. She's healthy today. She's a Chihuahua today, and everything's good. And that's the story about how Minnie got Parvo, like the first month we had her, first couple weeks. And if you're going through with your dog, if you're going through Parvo, I know how you feel. It's difficult and it's hard, and you don't know if your dog's going to live. We got lucky. We caught it early. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. And yes, there are doggos over there. I'll probably blur them out because they're probably doing all kinds of weird things. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as usual, guys, I'll see you guys next time in the next video. So see you guys later.